is
Yes. Yes.
HVAC the whole
I have kind of a long-winded question because I'm a stickler for details.
Okay.
So I have the 50-page line-by-line item of all the itemized things that the district is going to spend on different items.
Okay.
And one that stuck out to me the most was one 110-volt receptacle, wall receptacle, were costing $2,000 each. Now, I'm just wondering who's doing the oversight on bloating and all the overrun of cost and stuff like this. Now, I can go to Home Depot and get that one from $1.96 to $21 for GCFI.
Right.
Now, how are we justifying to the taxpayers? How are you justifying a $2,000 wall receptacle?
Yeah.
Kind of like the Pentagon did with the $600 hammers and $800 toilet
I can tell you
seats.
we would not spend $2,000 on a wall.
But that's what's itemized on there.
So when you see line items on there, that's standalone costs based on if that was the only project that was done and what could it cost. We will get economies of scale when these things. Nothing in the project has been designed or bid.
So there's not hard quote.
Nothing has been quoted yet because nothing's been designed and nothing's been bid. So when you see those line items, you see what it would cost if it was individualized. We're going to get a better price than what you see there.
Well, I would hope so.
Absolutely.
I mean, I could go buy them for you for about $200 right now. So.
Now, what I will tell you is, based on this Texas law and the way we have to procure things and the type of people that we have to hire, everything costs so much more than I would ever imagine things should cost. It just does to do it legally. But know that anything you see, even estimate, what you're seeing, every number you see is an estimate. You know, the addition cost at the Woodlands High School is an estimate based on what we think the square footage would be and what the current market is for square footage. And before anything is purchased, it'll be procured the legal way. You know, it's going to be designed and then value engineered and then procured the legal way to get the best value for the district. And then the board approves that before any expenditures are made.
I was going to say, go ahead.
If it's less, what happens to the extra money?
So then it goes in, and if you go back to the 2015 bond, there were about $300 million worth of projects that got taken out of that bond before it went, so it went at 487. So some of that work was able to be done so that it didn't roll forward into this bond. So basically you just try to get more work done. And what typically happens is, where can you get scale, right, or economies of scale? So if you're going to go do work at Collins Intermediate, and we know we're there and we're doing a roof and we're doing something else, and there are other needs in the building, if we can roll all that together and get a better price, we can get more of that work done when it goes forward. Now, when it really works, you go back to 2008 bond, and we wouldn't want this for our economy in any way, but the 2008 bond was built as a 4 or 5 year package. It went 7 years because the economy tanked. Everything got cheaper. We were able to build more with the same amount of money. We wouldn't wish that on our economy, but if that can happen, we would extend the life. If we can build an extra school or we can do more of the projects, we would do it that way. But the other piece of that is, just because the voters approve $807 million in bond does not mean we have to sell $807 million. So if we have 2 bond sales and then growth stops and we're not growing anymore, we wouldn't sell those last 2 sets of bonds. We would just stop and it'd be frozen. You know, there's still triggers, even if the voters approve it, there's still triggers that trigger the building to be built.
So is there some kind of oversight committee to all this? Or is it just
the board?
The board?
Your elected school board.
Regulated by the state.
Yeah, I mean, we're regulated by the state, but the oversight committee is your elected school board. They approve.
Yeah, they're elected.
They approve everything that we.
Congress is elected too, but they ain't doing too good a job, are they?
That's because we're not watching what they're doing.
I do. I watch
A
off
few
the
of
hall.
us have.
Yeah.
Pull on another point.
Certainly, and that was a piece of the package that came out from the committee's recommendation to the board. So when it goes from 827 to 807, that is one of the things that's taken out of the project. The board understands the amount of floor space we have as compared to our local districts. So when you look at that, we have about a quarter of pool space that various school districts have. We don't build pools at all of our schools at those places. So the board did pull that
That's why I raised one more question, since I was a swimmer all through high school.
Yeah.
What is the cost difference of building an auditorium versus building an 8-lane pool in every high school? Because every high school when we grew up, everybody had a pool at the school.
So, significant. You know, when we talk about school costs, Grand Oaks High School, our new high school, was $150 million. The new high schools in Katy and Cy-Fair that opened this year as well were closer to $190 million for the same capacity. There are multiple things that we do to try to value engineer and get bang for our buck. And one of those is we don't build pools at every high school. It's about an $8 million to $9 million proposition to build a pool at every school. And then, you know, operationally, as you all well know, pools are very expensive to operate. So it's much cheaper, you know, less convenient, I would say, I'm sure, because everybody's got to come.
I was going to say, how do they try to do their practices if you have 5 schools?
Yeah, it is
at
hard. It's hard for everybody to come together into one place, but it is certainly more economical to do it in one place and have one pool and have all the schools share that facility.
Yeah, I think it also, I think about it also is the way CISD